Hello, it's Route 66, day 72. It's Greg Burdine. We're sharing a little bit about Joshua chapter 10, 11, and 12 in our journey through the Bible. So the Israelites are in the promised land and they're beginning they have to conquer the promised land. It's the land that God gave them. It belongs to them. It belonged to Abraham. God gave it to Abraham. And so they're going back in there to re-get it, to regather it. So Joshua chapter 10, uh, the sun stands still. Crazy. As they began to go into the south of the land of Israel, 5 Amorite kings attacked Gibeon because they made an alliance with Israel. And so Joshua defends them, and God helps Israel in their battle by having hailstones come down and actually makes the sun stand still so Israel can achieve a complete victory. Is that true? I believe it is. Whether or not the sun stopped or God allowed the rays to continue going, I don't know what happened, but God allowed there to be more sunshine than normally was. So the 5 kings hid in the cave, but they were captured, and Joshua and his army continued to conquer the southern campaign. Divide and conquer. They went through, and then they went to the south. Joshua 11, they went to the north, and there's again these kings. It wasn't like big nations like we have today with big borders. They were more like families. So the kings got together, led by a man by the name of Jabin, and he attacked Israel. And God helped Joshua have a complete victory over them with no survivors. The land is gradually being conquered, fulfilling God's promise to give Israel the land. And in Joshua chapter 12, there is the list of the conquered kings. And Joshua only had one defeat, that was in Ai, but he continued to conquer, and God gave him victory over 31 kings. Now, what are some lessons that we can learn from this? Well, one lesson, I think that we know this: God fights for his people. God protects his people. The miracle of the sun standing still, the hailstone, shows that, yeah, they had their military weapons, but God performed some miraculous things. Even look in some history of the United States and some of the miracles that God performed to allow there to be victories in the direction he wanted us to go. It's amazing. Number 2, obedience brings victory. When we obey God, when we do what God says. Joshua was committed to following God's plan, following God's command, and he had success in battle. Number 3, God's promises are always fulfilled. They don't always happen real fast, but his promises are always fulfilled. This list of the kings prove God's faithful. God said, I'm going to give you the land, and he gave them the land. Another lesson, and I think it's good, is persistence in faith and action. That combination, trusting God, but moving forward. And I think that's important for us to do. Joshua believed God, and he acted upon that belief. He believed God would give him the victory, and he went to battle. And you and I think as a personal application, just because you believe God will do something, you need to do it. You need to do something and move forward and watch him work. God very seldom works for somebody that's not doing something for him. That whole phrase, be still and know that I am God, that's your heart. God wants you to act for him and watch how he works